Guys, it's Brandon. So I had to take a nap because I'd been up a whole lot last night. Woke up from the nap about 10-20 minutes ago, and I had the amps there at 0.115 when I went in for the nap. The actual feed voltage right now is 1460. It's showing you the voltage of the system as it sets. When I woke up from the nap, that said like 13. I'll be able to show you a photo here in a second. But the point is, I had to turn it all down to 0.060 because I had gotten all the way up to, this said 13.98 on the battery, and the, let's see here. And so this was all the way up to 13660, which is supposedly impossible if you believe that the BMS activates at 3.60. Okay, so I knew I'd already gotten to 3.62 or 3.652. I knew I'd already gotten to. It was at 3.660, okay, which is higher than where I was told it would go, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing out facts about what's going on. I need to get a new screen protector. Long story short, this guy over here came up. I think all of them came up. Let's compare photos here. I have some other photos. I'll show you the photo of before I turned it all down. But before I show you those other photos, to make this video more time efficient, I'm getting better at this whole thing. There's kind of a learning curve, you know what I mean? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this back up. See how that just brought the moving to 0.9? We're gonna bring this back up to where it's 1.0 and maybe, yeah, so we'll do it at 7.5. Okay, so now the moving watts there is 1.0. So we'll see how that goes. So again, we're still down from, we were at 115 instead of 7.5, okay? So 0.115 is where we were, now we're at 7.5. So what I want to do is I want to see if that brings us, if we can still accept that without the top bank voltage coming up too much. But anyhow, let me get here to the screenshots. I've been taking screenshots of everything. So here's a screenshot, or here's a photo, I should say, of, you know, before I took a nap, okay, and I was pumping 1.6 watts at 115 when I took the nap. Now, when I woke up, this, let's see, I turned it down to this as quickly as I could because, and the voltage is still the same. See, the voltage is still the same, the feed voltage. This is showing you the real-time voltage because it's connected to the system. It's kind of like a tug-of-war, you know what I mean, or like pressure, a pressurized system. It's like when you got the air chuck hooked up to your tire, basically. You know, it's telling you what the pressure in the tire is, even though the air compressor might be pumping at 200 PSI, the real-time pressure of the system when you're connected to the tire, which is absorbing that, it's going to tell you, oh, your tire is at 33 PSI or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, the system's at 33 PSI at that moment. So same concept with electricity, how electricity flows, which if you haven't seen the videos from, what do you call it, Eric Lathwaite in the Christmas special where he talks about the flow of heat and Faraday and the flow of electricity and all the different things, you really should watch it. You got to really think of electricity as like ants marching with momentum. So that's why you don't see me just shut this thing off, is because I understand what's going on with momentum. I don't want to kill the ant march, okay, if you will, of the electrons, you know, how these things are moving around and these ions and different things. So anyway, and I don't believe that our science fully understands it all. Eric Lathwaite, who invented the maglev train, he basically says, look, there's way more going on here than anybody wants to explain. So anyway, so let's get back to photos. Oh, let's go check on the battery, huh? Let's see what that is. Give me a second here. Connecting the battery again. I got this thing so that it doesn't stay connected because I don't trust the app from being hacked, so it disconnects every time. Okay, so again, we are at 13.97. want to say that just said 13.96 when I first logged in, so it's probably toggling between 9.7 and 9.6. Me bringing the power back up probably brought it. Yep, see there, it's at 9.6 again. So me bringing that power back up is good. And then let's go check and see okay, so as you can see, we got the time up there too. So now we're at 3.648, which is good. We're still at 3.36, which is good, which means we haven't lost anything over here. And since we're still at, since we're still falling, 3.646, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more juice to this. So we're finding the happy medium here, which is just a learning curve of trial and error. So let's do 90. Okay, so let's see what 90 gives us. Because remember, we were at 115 before, so we didn't necessarily need to come down a lot. I just didn't want to overdo it because I didn't want the whole system to shut off, because I didn't want to stop the ant march of electrons. You see, everybody, I'm not picking on anybody, but if I ask somebody a question like, where does this thing, like, is it better to run top volts and low current, or is it better to run 14.3 volts or 14.2 volts and more current, or is it better to run 14.6 volts and 0.090 amps, okay, to run that current? You see what I'm saying? What is, before I said current, I meant to say amps. What is the safest way to get this done without the BMS shutting it off? And some people were like, oh, it doesn't matter because the BMS is going to shut it off. I'm aware. And people want to make me out to be the dumbass. Don't you understand the BMS is going to shut it off? Yeah, I get that part. Don't you understand that we're trying to march the fucking electrons into the fucking battery? Okay? I don't want the BMS to fucking shut the system off. Okay? Sorry, guys. I just... I'm dumb, but I'm not not that dumb. Okay, so I'm ignorant to certain things, but I'm a fast learner. And that's what drives people crazy about me, is I come in admitting, I have no clue what I'm talking about, and then all of a sudden I'm putting everything together and trying to teach them about Eric Lathwaite and the Ant March, and they're like, what the fuck? Where'd this guy come from? So anyway, it's been one of my things in life. I always pretend to know nothing because I don't have time for ego, is really what it comes down to. And if you tell people up front, oh yeah, I'm a pro at this, then they want to sit there and quiz you. I don't have time for your fucking quiz. So it's like, okay, I'm an idiot. I know nothing. Let's start from scratch. Then I'll tell you what I do know and I don't know. And my biggest weakness is I'm just getting old in my brain. When I want to say amps, it doesn't say amps. Or if I want to say amp hours, it doesn't say amp hours. I used to ace every physics test I took on this shit. Back in high school, I took Physics 1 and then AP Physics, and I went to a really great high school in Ohio. So regardless, there was only one private school that was arguably better, and frankly, I did better on the SAT and ACT than most of those kids did. But anyway, I missed one math and science question, and used to place 99th percentile in math and science in high school when they take the state placements for Ohio. So, I'm not a dumb dude, guys. It's just I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and I've kind of fried my brain trying to solve a problem that I'll reveal here soon. And a lot of stress, a lot of drama. But anyway, and during that time, I didn't play with batteries a whole lot, as you can see. So I'm learning again what's going on here. Not complicated. So let's check up on this battery. Let's go see what is going on here. So we're still at 3.647. We're still at 3.360. Okay. So then the question is, can we... 3.648. So I'm going to kind of leave it here at 90 for a little bit on the, the 0.090. I'm going to leave it there for a moment. And, look, it went back down to 4.6 again. Okay, so let's go ahead and Okay, let's take this back to 1. I don't want the ant march to go backwards, and I don't think it is, because, you know, it shows we're doing 1.2 down here. Okay, and it shows that our voltage of the system is less than our feed voltage, because our feed voltage is 1460. And if I had this to do often, I would experiment with actually higher yet voltages, like 1470 or 1480, and just see what how that would make this all go. Granted, that's probably going to get you above the 3.66, but if the battery, we know it gets to 3.660, it's not just 3.650, so that's important to know. So now we're not stressing out so much. Before I was having a heart attack every time I got to 3.650. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to shut the system off. So now it's nice to know that I've got a little bit more buffer. And if anybody knows the exact buffer to where that BMS shuts it off, let me know, because I've been told it was 3.650 and it's not. It's 3.660 and it's still on. Okay, so all right. And again, this is the voltgo 400. Okay, so let's see here. So I was going to go ahead and dial that up some more. Yeah, because we're down to 3.648 and 3.646. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take that up to 100. 115 was obviously too much. Okay, so we'll take it to 100 even. See what that does for us, okay? So you can see our watts went up to 1.3. All right, when we went up to 100 even, and you can see here that our, oh, by the way, let me